with the educated opinion on topics of all varieties. This your boy Bubba, and you already know what I'm about to say, right? You are listening to Bubba's Banter. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your motherfucking boy. I ain't gotta say no names, right? But I am anyways, your boy Bubba, and you are watching Bubba's Banter. I hope you guys are living well, feeling well. Also, you're listening to this is yes, this is a podcast episode, and yes, this is my Pride episode, y'all. We are finally here. Pride is amongst us. Well, by the time you guys see this video, it will be Pride. So tonight we're just doing all Pride things. Well, not all Pride things. We're gonna dish that, so I got some things that I want to talk about that's kind of late in the game, but I was like, I got the time, and I actually wanted to talk about this with a certain person. My boy Cecil is back tonight. He hasn't been on my show in a while, and we've been talking about this in the DMs, like the stuff that's going on in the social media world and stuff like that. And there's two topics that I've been wanting to talk about, and I was like, I'm holding these topics just for him because these motherfucking things are juicy and good to talk about. So you already know what I'm about to say, right? Go get those bearskin underwear. Please go get those bearskin underwear. They were designed with the big boy in mind, and you will get 15% off if you use my promo code Bubba in the checkout, and you will get 15% off. I love these underwear. I brought some out tonight because I was like, let me go ahead and just show them off. These are the Barbie ones. These are cute. I like these ones. Still, my favorite is the watermelon ones. And also get the swimwear. It's summertime. So I want to show you guys some of the swim trunks that I got. The swim trunks are really, really nice. They're very, very comfortable. They're just as comfortable as the underwear. These are my favorite color, though. I like the orange. I only got the trunks right now. I'm going to get some briefs soon. Like, I want to get the lime green briefs that they got out now. So go get the bearskin underwear, support them. I love Bearskin. They're a really cool underwear company. They're very supportive and very cool. I love them. They are comfortable. So go get them. So yeah, y'all, I hope you guys are living well, feeling well. I said that already, but I'm gonna say it again. This week it's been kind of crazy. I've had some things happen this week that so the thing about weight loss for me. So, okay, I've been back on my diet for 10 days. As far as, it's a bit like 10 days. I've been back on it, and I've lost weight. And one of the things for me, stress is like the way I deal with stress is I like to eat, and I like comfort food. I like fast food restaurants and all that shit. And when I stress out, I eat, and I don't even think about it. I just be like, I'm hungry, and I don't even be that hungry, but I'll do it. Like today at work, I was stressing out so much about some shit that I couldn't control, and it was some petty shit too. Because I think for me right now is when it comes to control. Like if I don't have control over something, I feel inadequate, and I know that sounds weird. I don't want to make this a soapbox, but I had a really weird week, and I'm so happy it's over and it's my weekend. And I can just chill and hang out, and I think I'm gonna become a hermit over this weekend and just sit in the house and not do nothing, and not be social. I just want to sit, but it is gonna be Pride, so I kind of do want to go out because that first weekend of Pride is always kind of cool here in Portland, chill, people coming to town and stuff. So maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But yes, please go follow me on social media, which is Bubba's Banter Podcast. You can follow my my personal, which is The Real Doc Dre, and also like, share, and follow my Facebook page, which is Bubba's Banter. Also, if you have not yet, just please subscribe to my streaming platform. So whatever you're using, like Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, those are where I'm streaming at. If you click on the link tree link in the description here on YouTube, you will see everywhere that I'm streaming. I'm streaming on a lot of places, and I tend to forget exactly where I'm streaming. I always say, Google me, bitch. I'll be telling people that. Google me, bitch. But yeah, let's get this show started. So tonight I'm bringing my boy back in and let's do it. What's good, bro? How you feeling? How you living?
Hey, what's going on, man? I hadn't been on here in a while, so
I
I'm happy
know. I
to
know.
be
It's
back on.
it's been a while. I mean, we've been talking about it. I've been trying to figure out like certain things to talk to you about because like what I've been doing recently with my podcast is just like I've been trying to have really thought provoking conversations, and we have those in the DMs. You know, we talk about like a lot of different stuff, but I've been trying to like not repeat a lot of conversations with like my reoccurring guests. I try to have like different conversations, like even the one with my boy Manny just last episode.
Yeah. That was a good one too, by the way.
Thank you. We had a conversation off, and I was like, next time you come on, we like gonna talk about something funny. We're not talking about straight dudes. Like we're not talking about like. Now I'm like that shit's exhausting, and I don't want to talk about it no more. And he started laughing. I was like, I'm dead ass. Like we're off that now. Let's do something different. And honestly, I got a lot of good response from that show. At first, I didn't think I was gonna get any good response because a lot of people don't. Well, I don't want to say a lot of people don't like him, but there are some people who don't like him, and they kind of warned me not to do the show. But I've been friends with Manny for a while, and I was like, I'm gonna do this show because that's my boy. Like, I've been known Manny online since like 2013, and we've been talking. I've watched so much shit that he's gone through, and we've had conversations. And I finally met him last year, and like, dude is a really cool dude. Like, yeah, we all problematic in our ways, but yeah, don't really care. Yeah. But how you been? I mean,
I've I've been busy. I've been really busy. I don't know if I'm more busy with actual things that I'm doing physically, or if I'm more busy in my head with the things that I think that I should be doing.
yeah, I know how that goes.
Like there's always something going on up here, but getting it from here to here is not always very easy. So I put in the lower third that I am the founder and therapist of Restorative Roots Counseling Center. That is my agency that I am opening, I'm in the process of opening right now, and every day I get closer and closer to the grand opening. So I'm happy about that. I'm learning a whole new kind of therapy. I'm learning about ketamine assisted psychotherapy and how fantastic that is, and you know how useful it is for people. And I don't know. I'm so ready to really just kind of step out there and do that. Like this is my first time ever really kind of doing it on my own. So
Oh,
I was always working with an agency, but I'm having to do it myself now, and I'm having to pull from a lot of things that I didn't think that I had to pull from emotionally to do that. So that's kind of where I am right now. That's really my main focus. And I got a dog, and I don't know if you see pictures of the dog, but
yeah, I see them on Instagram.
his name is Rock, and he lives up to that name, and y'all might hear him because he's over there. So we'll see what's going on.
Okay. Um, Now let's dive right into our first segment, which is the dish that. If you've been watching, dish that is just entertainment segment, just where we dish on all different or mostly entertainment topics of the week or the month. Um, so yeah, first up that we're gonna talk about is uh the Diddler.
I'm a diddler.
The Diddler. So Diddy, this video, well, he's been making waves for a while now. And I know this is kind of old for y'all, but again, like I said, I wanted to say these two things with someone that I really wanted to talk with this about. Cause I mean, I could have gotten why it was hot, but I was like, well, I think it's, you know, for who I feel like this is a good conversation with and who's really totally invested in it. I feel like Cecil was the guy. So I was like, and me and you've been talking about this a lot in the DMs, more than what other friends I've been talking to this about. Like, So I was like, let me do it with Cecil. So this first video, let's talk about the video. Well, I don't want to talk in description of what happened because, you know, but trigger warning, we are talking about the Cassie video where he did what he did. That was fucked up. Like when I saw that video, and I only watched like the first 30 seconds when I first saw it. Like I saw her running and I was like, okay, I cut it off for a second because I was like, I'm not in the mindset for that because I know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then I was on Twitter and this shit always happens when I wake up. Like I need to stop doing this and getting on social media as soon as I wake up. It's like a habit of mine. Like I get on and I just start scrolling. I start looking for my notifications. I start scrolling. Like fucking straight millennial. But yeah, so I got on and that's how I ended up watching the full video because it was on Twitter and I was like, fuck. And I just like wasn't thinking about it. And then I saw what he did and I was just like, this is tragic. You know, it's tragic. And I feel bad because a lot of like I know it kind of triggered a lot of people that saw it. And then, you know, not only just like people like the people in the world, but like their families saw it. You know, his kids, I'm sure, saw it. You know, it was all over social media, all over the tabloids, every tabloid website. It was on there. It was like the hot commodity of the buzz, you know, of the feud, the day. So it sucked that happened, but yeah, I don't really know how to feel about that video. I don't know how to really feel about it. Just besides saying it's tragic, it was really fucked up. It was foul.
I had a similar experience with that video. I think I only watched the full thing. It was almost by accident because the first couple of times that I watched it, I stopped it. Much like the first, like he grabbed her by the head and you know, again, trigger warning, all that. Grabbed her by the head and he like I think the first kick, I was out. Like I have worked with a lot of women who are victims of domestic violence.
Yeah.
I've worked with men who were victims of domestic violence. You know, I grew up in that kind of environment, you know, myself, and it was hard. It was just a hard watch. And the interesting thing about it to me, I remember thinking this then. We've been hearing these rumors for decades.
Decades. And I feel like evidence have been out there. Like it has been out there everywhere. Yeah. Like from the video where he was on, like he posted a video on Instagram. He posted a video on Instagram one year where someone was under a blanket and he was like talking shit to them or something. I mean, Diddy, he's always came off as a shady person to me, like a fast talking shady ass, like janky promoter. Like he always came off that way to me. Like even when like back in the 90s when I was younger and I used to like, it seemed like a little hustler. Like, I mean, and then the apology video, that was just like that threw me for it.
Yeah, okay. Look, okay. There's so many dynamics to this. You see, I'm just my temples hurt because okay, there's a lot of dynamics to it, and one of them I really want to get into and kind of sit there for a second, primarily because it is Pride Month, but also because it's necessary to talk about. But before I get into that, watching him do this and kind of solidifying all of the rumors that we have been hearing about him for, you know, all of these years, that was in a way fulfilling.
Yeah,
because here it is. Like most everybody that I know, their response to that was, well, he's washed, he's cooked. Like that. I mean, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? You might as well go wherever Russell Simmons is now.
Might as well.
right, with
Might as
his
well
abusive ass, and just hit the islands of wherever you are, and just be there, and just don't come back. Like that's like you need to be wherever you are. You got enough money to just live in paradise for the rest of your life, and not be extradited. And I just I I wanted I wanted Puffy, Diddy, Love, whatever you want to call him. I wanted him to go away instantly.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that he would take Jaguar Wright with him, because I'm sick of her ass running her mouth.
Yeah.
I would hope that he would take, I think the man's name is Gene Deal, the bodyguard, take him.
Yeah.
Anybody who is coming out now to say, well, he did this and he did that, but you didn't say it when it was happening.
Okay.
I don't want to hear from you. I
Yeah.
don't want to hear from you. It's too late. The feds got what they. We'll find out. Let the feds tell us. Let the court case tell. I don't want to hear you say shit to me about how Diddy used to beat up Cassie, and in 2016 and prior. I didn't keep up with their relationship because I don't care like that. I barely know who Cassie is. I think she had like one song. I don't know.
Cassie was the shit though. Like, I mean, that was my like, especially the club scene. I was saying 2008. 2008 was an era for me, and maybe that's just my era. Yeah, it's 2008 was an era. Friend, it was an era. Like, I used to listen to Cassie and Ryan Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, they have beautiful music together.
Yeah.
They literally like that. They shifted a culture to me as far as music went back, and then like popular music, popular R&B music, I should say. Like they created an era then, and it's unfortunate that she got under Diddy. And like pretty much fucked her career off because like did nobody really hear anything else from her after that.
Yeah.
Like, and Ryan Leslie like was a cold ass producer, so I was like, why is he not producing her music? Like that's who she should be with. Like she made cool songs with him, and so I don't know, but I just feel bad for her. Like she got in a relationship with Diddy, and it just like we stopped hearing from her, and I don't know what Diddy does to people when it comes to like career wise,
but he does it to everybody. He does it to everybody.
Like from making the band to like, even how he used Don Richards and the old girl for Paris is Burning. Like that was a nice little era of music that he had going on. But he used those girls because like where they at right now?
Mm-hmm.
And Don tours. She tours, but like, it's just when you just look at a lot of his artists that was on his label, like none of them are really doing anything like that.
He puts people in our faces and he takes them away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to negate the fact that that's the nature of the industry.
Yeah,
as I know it. Anyway.
Yeah,
that's kind of how it is. But I mean, like you, he's always come across a certain way.
Yeah.
And with me, I was at Alabama. I was in college, during, when I think Biggie and Tupac died.
Yeah.
So he's kind of come off to me. My direct issue with Diddy is that all of the excess of hip hop, all of the individualism, and I say that as the opposite of community. He represents all of that to me.
Right.
It was about Black capitalism, something that we call Black excellence now.
Yeah.
But that's a whole okay. So. He represented that to me, but he represented that even then, and I didn't like it. It didn't feel good to me. Don't get me wrong. It was some bops on that Puff Daddy and the Family album. That the sun don't shine forever. All of that. I was ready. I was here for it. But it was something about those shiny suits that was like, okay, well, he's trying to show us what he can do as opposed to what he can do for us
All
as a
right.
community. It was never really anything like that. And his mama got on my nerves because what did she do? She was a socialite, and I was like, okay, thanks, Miss Diddy, whatever your name is. She just got on my nerves. Anyway, but honestly, Dre, I know that we're kind of coming into this a little bit late.
Yeah.
This is actually it might not be that late.
It's still unfolding though. Like
Yeah.
there's still stuff coming out, after the apology. Like, and there's more people coming out. Like, there's more people talking about stuff. And even like his mom, or not his Biggie's mom, just
Biggie's mom,
spoke
yeah.
about the video, and she was like, "I want to slap the shit out," or something like that. She said, and
that's exactly what she said.
Yeah.
That's what she said. And she was like, "I hope he apologizes to his mother for embarrassing her." Speaking of of mothers. And I know that this is, I said we're kind of getting into this late. I know that this is ongoing. These things kind of come in waves, and a month from now or whatever, we can probably get a whole new lawsuit and a whole new bit of information about all this and the other. But I want to. It's really important to me to point out even light homophobia.
Oh yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Before this video came out, and you and I talked about this, before this video came out, people had replaced pause, which is really fucking stupid anyway, because
already stupid.
Why are you more worried about dick than me?
Yeah.
I'm gay.
Yeah.
But you real hyper vigilant about somebody thinking that you gay, and that really just pisses me off. They replaced pause with no Diddy. Diddy wasn't accused of being gay. Diddy was accused of abusing people and having power and control over them that they didn't want.
Right.
That's what he was being accused of. He was accused of being an abuser. You sitting up here talking about some no Diddy as if it just means gay. And straight people get on my nerves anyway. I'm openly heterophobic. I've always been. I'm just now admitting that I have a problem that straight people I don't like them. So because I don't like them, it's really easy for me to say that it's real telling that the worst thing that the worst and first thing that comes to your mind is that he's gay.
Yeah.
And you already see us as predators anyway.
Exactly. That's the connection though, friend. That's the connection right there. That is it. Because I feel the same exact way, because I was like, you guys already see gay people as predators. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing you think to yourself is that, oh, this dude is preying on men, when he was in fact preying on just anybody that he can control.
Yeah, anybody.
So it has nothing to do with him being gay. It has to do with him wanting power and control. Like, it has nothing to do with his sexuality. Like, if he's gay, bi, whatever. I mean, he can be bi, right? Like, why is the first thing you go to is being gay? So it's just like, that was the thing for me. Like, when people say no Diddy, I was just like, okay, it's funny, but at the same time, it's corny, because like y'all don't see the homophobia that you guys are doing. Like, it just doesn't make sense to say that. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people who are most straight people, and I don't care what people say, but most straight people who are always talking about being gay are uncomfortable with their sexuality, or something's triggering them. Personally, to me, that's how I feel. I mean, you could change my mind on that, but I mean, some people are just homophobic. I agree to that, but I also feel that some people who are just consistently always bringing up being gay, like obsessed with the idea of what it is to be gay or not, or what it is to be gay or what it is not to be gay. Like, you are struggling somewhere with that idea of what it is, because like, bro, like, what's going on with you? Why do you talk about, like, I motherfuckers who talk about being gay so much. Like, when you talk about being gay more than gay people, it's just like, bro, why are you that obsessed on another man's booty hole? Like,
And honestly, I don't know if it's. It just seems like it's a myriad of things. It's not really just the physical. It's not really just the predatory thing. It's that you will be seen as less than in some way.
Yes.
And
Ooh.
in the black community, you know, like in a lot of other communities, I'm not gonna just say it's just
Yeah.
us. In my community, as a black man,
Yeah.
um, being seen as weak, you know, in some way is just a sin. It's like the worst thing that you can possibly be. And you know, white supremacy has taught us that being gay is being less than a man.
Yep.
Um, you know, the cultures that we come from, a lot of them did not have any kind of um, you know, barrier to
Right.
homosexuality. Um, but for some reason with us, you know, because I mean, you know, how could it not? We were kind of taken from that culture. We were given or tried to be given another one. So I don't know. It's just it comes out in so many different ways. You shared that you shared that meme on Facebook about I think Duran Bernard had said it.
Oh, the sassy stuff.
He was
Yeah.
talking about, you know, ladies liking to say things like sassy and zesty. And I'm since the first time I heard it, I didn't like that at all because I knew what it
Yeah.
meant.
Yeah.
Like I think he said it was like faggot with a silencer.
Yeah.
is what he said, and
Yeah.
that's
He
all
said,
it is. That's not
oh,
basically.
it
That's
is.
not kind of what it is. That's all it is. That's
Yeah.
all it is, and it drives me crazy because even then, when you hear it being said, it's still diminutive. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's still a pejorative, and it
Yeah.
means the same thing. You're just trying to
Yeah.
sugarcoat in a way.
And for me, even with the black gays, like I kind of get frustrated with it sometimes because I get like trying to take the power back from words, but like, no, don't be using the word. Don't be like, oh, he's sassy. Cause I know a lot. Like I was watching, I don't want, this is not a negative thing, but like I was watching this podcaster named Ja. He runs a podcast called Dear Black Gay Men. And I love this podcast, like really, really good podcast. He's from Atlanta. He seems really, really cool. I actually met him one time I was on one of my friends' lives on Instagram, and he popped up, and we talked for a few minutes. But Ja's really cool. His podcast is cool, but they were playing a game called Sassy or Not Sassy about like um, certain, like they was asking about a certain thing, a certain topic, and if it was sassy or not sassy. And I was kind of getting a little frustrated because I was like, yeah, I don't need to be using that fucking word. Like that word is bad in a way. It's so derogatory in a way of towards gay people. Like you, and I feel like a lot of gay men do not realize how we deal with, you know, I don't know if I want to use this word, but internalized homophobia that we have. Even myself, I was sitting in therapy talking to my therapist, and he was like, "You know how fucking like how homophobic that sounds when you would say this or say that." And I'm thinking to myself, like, "God damn, I really do deal with a lot of like internalized homophobia and shame due to certain things." But it's like now that I know it, like how can I work on it? You know, and I feel that in our community, we don't realize how we set ourselves up to deal with that stuff. You know, so I wish people would just stop, like gay people would stop using the word sassy. Like, no, don't.
I wish everybody would stop using it in
Yeah,
that context, and I think that that's what really kind of pissed me off with the whole Diddy thing because you know they went straight to well the problem isn't the alleged sex trafficking
yeah,
or the bad business practices or the physical abuse or you know the coercion or any of that any of the other stuff.
yeah,
Um, the worst part is gay,
yeah.
and that like every I don't want to say every, but most out gay people, especially out gay black and brown people, know what it feels like to have that spotlight on them.
Yep.
We know what the straight gaze is. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? We know the straight gaze. We know what that feels like. and it burns the back of our neck because they're always looking at us all the time like we're the problem.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that happen in family dynamics, because of that. And one day you and I are gonna have to have a good talk about kind of how that's happened in both of our lives, because I know a little bit of yours and a little bit of mine, but
Yeah.
we have to have a really deep, maybe off camera, maybe on camera, conversation about what's going on. But yeah, that was really my point about the whole Diddy thing. At this juncture, I really wanted to just bring that up because it bothers me to no end, and it's. I was telling a friend of mine this the other day. I was telling a straight friend of mine this. We have to come out of the closet more than just once.
Ooh. They don't get it, Fred.
They don't get it.
They don't get it.
They don't get it. We don't just come out one time. You come out as straight one time, and that's it.
Yes.
That's it. But they don't understand how and it can be re-traumatizing every time.
Every time. Every time I tell somebody at work that I'm gay, I get a little nervous. Especially more so the men. Like women, I can see through a woman, but the men is just more so like because I feel like with a lot of straight men, they think every gay dude wants them. And like, I don't care how attractive you are. Like, I may look because I got eyes. That's what I do, right? But I promise you, I do not want you because I know your booty hole dirty. Sorry.
and then, number one, y'all don't watch. Number two, so the fuck what if we did want you? Because you look at women and want them too. So what's the difference?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
What is the difference? Yeah, I don't want to get on that soapbox. Speaking of viral moments, did you see the Kelly Rowland confrontation with the security guard at the Canes?
Not only did I see the Kelly Rowland confrontation, but I saw her response after that, and I saw that same bitch doing the same shit to other celebrities.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's play that response right quick because I
knows what happened. I know what happened. There were other women that attended that carpet who did not quite look like me. And they didn't get there, scolded or pushed off or told to get off. I have a boundary and I stand by those boundaries, and that is it. I stood my ground. And she felt like she had to stand hers.
Isn't she so beautiful?
First of all, she's gorgeous. Okay.
She's gorgeous. I love Kelly. That's my big sister in my head. Like real shit. She's one of my big sisters in my head. I love Kelly. I think I just love her. But that video when she looked at her said, I know she was like, get your motherfucking hands off me. Get your motherfucking hands off me, bitch. Like, don't touch me. Yeah. Do not touch me.
There was the lady who does the lip reading. She was like, well, what she was saying was, don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me like she just kept saying, don't talk, you're not my mother. Don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like that. She had to go on and stand her ground a little bit, on that lady. But and I don't know if you saw, but and please don't ask me to remember who they are because I don't know who's in pop culture these days.
I don't either. All I know is one was with a little dress, and she was trying to show off the back of the dress, and they were like trying to pull the dress. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
There was another lady too who happens to be Asian, y'all. So sorry, I don't know the names again. Just like we don't know the names, friend. So we just know that the security guard is problematic as fuck. But I don't know. Like my thing for me is like, is there some type of like, because what I was reading online that there are certain celebrities who get more red carpet time. One, some of them pay for more red carpet time, from what I was told, and then some are just invited to this place, to this whatever it is, and so like they're just rushing people to go in, trying to get people, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know anything about that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, capitalism, but none of that is an excuse. Listen, okay. First of all, my first thought was it takes a lot to get Kelly Rowland.
Yeah.
Come out of character like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know her. I saw her one time a long time ago. I'll tell you that story, and I didn't like her for a long time, but I got over that. I'll tell you that story later. But it takes a whole lot for somebody to put their finger in your face and be like, "Bitch, get off me!"
All right.
get off me.
Right.
And somebody like Kelly, who has been media trained and studio trained and PR train, all of the training, she's got it all. We ain't never seen Kelly do that.
Right. Ever.
And for her to do that, that meant that you really pissed off. Now, I don't know what was going on in Kelly's day. I don't know what was happening before that. I know all of these red carpet things can probably be really hectic and all this and the other, but she's done this before. So you had to really, and she knows she's on camera.
Yeah.
So for her to, give you one of these,
right.
You really had to take her there. You had to take her there. She didn't bring you there. You took her there.
Yeah, because even the one girl, the one with the dress, pushed the security guard at one point.
Yes, she did. Get the fuck out.
Like that security guard is problematic.
Yeah,
figure out what's going on with her. Like does she do this shit deliberately because she knows she's gonna go viral and people gonna know who she is? Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm so confused on that. That video was really funny as hell to me when I first saw it. It was popping up on TikTok. I was like, oh, bitch, she had to piss Kelly off. I was like, she had to say something. Like, it just was, it looked ridiculous, though, personally to me. So,
it sucks.
Yeah. Let's segue now to the banter segment, or not banter segment. How the fuck did I fuck my shit up? Let's go ahead and segue on to the favorite segment that a lot of people love listening to on this show, which is the Banter Banquet, where we dive into some of the deeper thought-provoking topics. And so, yes, we're talking about all gay things today because it is Pride Month. And so the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what would you tell your younger gay self and why?
Well, it depends on what. Okay, what would I tell my younger gay self about what?
Just life,
Anything?
I guess. Like, yeah, just anything, like some type of vital advice going forward in your life. You know what I mean? Like I could tell you for me, like at the beginning, like I'll tell you mine. So if I could talk to my younger gay self, I would tell my younger gay self to be yourself. Like, it's okay to be who you are, because I think that coming out for me, and especially in the Pacific Northwest, I was trying to find so many different like friends and that I could mesh with, and I feel like I didn't fit anywhere. I feel like I did not fit anywhere. I didn't feel like I didn't have any sense of community amongst, straight people or amongst gay folks. I always felt like a third wheel in a lot of my friends groups, like especially like if one was in a relationship, I always feel like I was just hanging out with them, and I was just discovering the community as it was going. The first year that came out, I was just like, this is kind of weird, going to all these different places and doing all these different things and stuff of that sort, and just trying to figure it all out. And it was really frustrating for me trying to figure it all out, and so I stopped doing a lot of shit that I was doing. I stopped dancing, like crumping. I stopped because I was trying to figure out, how I'm supposed to be gay. Like, how am I supposed to be gay? That's what I was trying to say. How am I supposed to be gay? What does being gay look like? Yeah. That was the thing I was so stuck on, trying to figure out, what does being gay look like? And especially being in the Barry community and all these things, and feeling like I need to know this, I need to know that, I need to know drag, I need to know. And I just talked about this on the other episode with Manny, just a little bit. Like, I always feel like I needed to be different. I need to fit in. I need to find community by, deviating away from the things that I already did or knew, because it did not make me gay. And so if I can go back and say, hey, it's okay to be that crump dancer. It's okay to love, hood rap. It's okay to like be all these things. You don't have to follow the crowd, but because because of FOMO and wanting to feel community, I feel like I discarded a bit of a part of who I was at a point to do that. And then, like, as I got older, I started being like, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all, I'm me. Like,
don't you love that moment? I love that fuck y'all moment. I really do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Go? Okay.
Yeah, I was done.
Oh, okay. This so much that I would have told myself, and not even necessarily about being gay, but if you narrow it down to that, I was a little different in the sixth grade. I remember this very very clearly. The message was given to me um, by those who I considered caregivers, those who I considered close to me, my village.
Yes.
It wasn't a big village, but it was a village nonetheless. That I need to change everything about myself. I
Right.
need to change the way that I present. I need to change the way that I talk. I need to change, you know, and I wouldn't be picked on so much if I would just change these things.
Yeah.
Um, what I decided to do in that moment was to adamantly and rebelliously not change those things.
Right.
Um, and at the time, I think that that's what I needed to do. I needed to be rebellious and just kind of be who I am. And I'm not talking about like turning it up or putting on a fucking dress or anything like that or snapping, whatever. Um, what I mean is I was being rebelliously me,
Right.
and just being authentic was a form of rebellion.
Right.
Where I grew up and in the way that I grew up, what I think I would tell myself now is that you can do all of that without the rebellion. Um, and what I mean is you could just be authentically you, and
yes.
that will be enough. You don't have to do it because somebody told you that you're not good enough.
Right.
You can be authentic because you're enough. It's not even good enough or bad enough, just enough. Um, and the people who you need to be around will gravitate to you.
Right.
Um, so I was kind of on the right path of self acceptance, but I had this hiccup at I need to actively antagonize you by being myself because you don't like who I am.
Yes. And I see that so much in our community too sometimes. And I've been trying, like, I've had a few friends who are like that, and I try to like um besides being annoyed by it, I try to not even pick at it, but like actively bring them to the table in a respectful way.
Mhm.
Because one of the things I don't want to do is make people feel like isolate people or make them feel like they can't be themselves.
Yeah.
But like I feel that some people when they do it, it's kind of like, bro, come on. Like one, especially in certain situations with certain friends, it's like, I know you when you're not around a group of people. Number one. I've been in, so if I sit with you and we just in a solo room together and you talk a certain way, act a certain way, like I expect you to act that way outside of our friends. And I get it, code switching is a real thing. It's survival. I get it.
And it's a
Because
natural thing
it's
too.
a
You do it
natural
naturally.
thing. Yeah, it's a natural thing because certain energies just bring certain things out of you too. I agree on that too. But there's this point where it's just like, okay, bitch, I know this is performative and I'm gonna let you perform for a little bit, but this is strike one.
Yeah.
But this is strike one. And I don't, when I say strike one, I don't necessarily mean like I'm gonna get physical with you because everybody know I like to tussle.
You do like to fight.
I just now I've learned a way to like talk because especially if I want to be in community with you, if I want to be, if I feel that we have that where I know that you are my friend and I do care about you and love you, like I want to bring you to the table in a respectful way, not in a way that's going to make you feel demeaning or make you feel unloved or uncaring for. Because
Yeah.
I felt that way when people would bring me like call something out on me, and then I was like, "Bitch, like, why are you judging me?" But it's not
Yeah.
always a judgment. Sometimes it's just like, "Hey, like, I see you doing this. Why are you doing this? Can we work on this? Can we not change who you are, but can we work on doing this because this is how it's looking in the masses most people."
It was hard, man, because I grew up in the 80s and early 90s. I was in
Ooh,
I graduated in 94.
yeah,
So when did you graduate? What year?
2007.
See what I'm talking about? Okay, whatever. So That's crazy. So it was a completely different world for I guess closeted. I was just me. I don't know if I was closeted or not. But gay men or gay people, well, maybe not lesbians. They might have a. I don't want to speak for them because they usually have a different kind of developmental pathway. But it was so. I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama. You, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't a. I couldn't do that. I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama to, let's just say it, homophobic parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who thought that you could catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like that they thought that you could catch it. Like you can't play with that kid. Can't play with Billy because Billy a little too he act like a girl too much.
A little sugar there.
Yeah. So little sugar and sank. So there's the predatory again. Like he's gonna do something to me, and then I'm going to turn into, something that you're already scared that I am anyway.
Right.
So there was a lot of that. And then I look at my son, who is about to be 30. And watching his journey as a gay man and as a gay kid. And yeah, he had his struggles. I'm not going to negate anything that that he had to go through. But what I saw was 10 times more acceptance.
Yeah.
With him than with us. And I love it, and it makes my heart happy, and I'm really fucking jealous at the same time. Like I'm really jealous. Like when you came up, you graduated in 07, gay was shit trending almost.
Yeah. It was almost trending actually, yeah.
So that was just an experience that I and a lot of us seated in Gen X really did not experience. And I wish that we could have more of a discussion about how that has manifested in the way that we are now.
Yeah. That was powerful. I like that. Now that we now here's a topic that sparks debate often. Do you think people should be naked at Pride? Why or why not? I know Pride is all about expression and blah blah blah, and there's a lot of other things this is about too. But there's a lot of different opinions, so I'll take your take on this first.
Okay, look, I'm about to be grumpy old man. I
might be grumpy young man with you guys.
I'm gonna be a grumpy old man, and I remember when I was getting my master's, this around 2011, 2012. I went to my first Pride parade because this is Atlanta. Atlanta's black as hell. We got Pride, but then there's Black Pride.
Yeah.
Like we got damn near two of them. It's MLK weekend and Labor Day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've always called whatever's happening this month White Pride. That's just how it's always been for me. I don't know how they do it in Portland with all the white folks up there, but it's White Pride here in the A.
They actually changed our Pride. Our Pride weekend's in July now because our Pride weekend here used to fall on Father's Day weekend in Juneteenth. Mm-hmm. So they switched it to July.
Okay. Yeah. So they're such allies. So anyway,
Stop. Go ahead. Go
ahead. So I went to my first with an organization that I was with and a part of in school. I went to my first Pride parade because we were marching in the parade, and that was my first time really kind of experiencing a real Pride, sort of thing. Yeah. For those of you all who don't know, Black Pride is completely different than White Pride. I don't know if they even have a Black Pride in Portland.
We used to. Mm-hmm. And
it's about 5 people in it. It's about 5 people, and one of them was white. What?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, so anyway.
Offline, because I know somebody gonna be watching this and be like, "Oh, he talking about black." Yeah, nope, I ain't going to do it. So
yeah, we'll talk about that. So I went there, and one of the people who was in the organization with me, real sweet girl. I need to look up and see how she's doing. She brought her 7-year-old, and he was riding his bike along, the parade route with us. And then I saw the leather float, and then I saw the float from the Eagle. And I looked to my left, and some dude had on a singlet with at least, I don't know, 11 soft. and I looked the other way, and these other dudes are making out. Now I don't have any problem with y'all making out. I have no problems with public display of affection, because if the straights can do
it,
we better goddamn do it.
All right.
But the way that they were making out was just so, for me, so incredibly inappropriate for a family-friendly event. Also, the Westboro Baptist Church was there. So they were protesting, and they had their, God hates gays and all the signs and all of that other stuff. And people were taking turns going up to where they are and kissing in front of them and taunting them, and then walking away. And I understand. I just got through talking about rebellion when somebody doesn't like who you are. I fully understand the need to rebel and to put it in their face and all of this, that, and the other. But I also understand the need to not have to do that.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be who you are. You're going to walk past them, and you're going to go and be whoever it is that you were before you walk past them.
Right.
And I didn't think that it was necessary to counter taunt, them. I did not think that it was necessary for you to really be in a thong and a harness.
Yep.
To say pride.
Go in, friend. Go in, because I'm on the same train. Go in.
I didn't see, and maybe that's prudish. I grew up in the Bible Belt. I don't know. But I just didn't see how that equated to pride. That wasn't the message that I wanted to send to the world about who we were.
Right.
Because I cannot think of a straight equivalent of a parade with fetish floats.
Yep. Boom. Boom. Boom.
And that's just how I feel about it. And they're gonna come for me. Y'all come on for me.
They gonna cover, because I feel the same exact way. I mean, when I was younger, when I was younger gay, I mean, when I first came out, I thought that shit was cool, but it was always awkward too, because he was like, this man walking around with like this jockstrap on and shit, like all out in public, and okay, cool, whatever, freedom, whatever. But then as I got older, I'm just like, this is not like, especially because I do feel like pride has become so commercialized, like, over the years, like it's so commercial now. And so here in Portland, at the pride parades, there's a lot of, I feel like a lot of straight people go, and a lot of kids there, and it's like, and they don't have a lot of the, fetish stuff going on here anymore. But like at the same time, I always ask, like, what is the point of it? And I get it, like conservatives and all these people, they take all these videos from like certain like Folsom and all these things and try to make it seem like that's the gay pride parade, blah blah blah. But like there are some parades where people are walking around in fetish gear and all this stuff, or just being at pride at the parade in fetish gear, and this is like, why?
Yeah.
Why? What is the point of having a parade with all these corporate sponsors who are doing all these things, walking in saying accept gay people and we want gay people around and blah blah blah, and you walking around in a full 25-piece fucking leather bust down, like body out, like booty hole. Never mind. Like,
now, but there's exceptions.
yeah,
Drag, I don't drag. Oh, drag.
drag.
Put on whatever it is that you're gonna put on, and may the odds be up in your favor. Whatever RuPaul say, I don't know what she said, but anyway, that I feel like is an exception because it's not explicit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's just a whole different
yeah.
thing.
That's
If
a
the
whole.
drag queen is up there on the float and she jump up in the air, she do a split. Kudos, and remain tucked. Congratulations. I don't, I'm so glad. So glad for you. So glad. That I really don't mind, but I need to know what it is that you're actually trying to say when you say, "Hey, this is my fetish and this is how I perform it."
Yes, especially the pub thing. Like
Yeah.
there was one time I was out of Pride, and I don't have nothing against pubs. Like it is what it is, But I was just like, y'all are walking around here barking at each other and doing all these things. Shit.
Child, they mean it too. They mean business. They mean business. They really mean it.
But no, okay, let me transform. But no, on a serious thing, like y'all over here doing all this stuff and people are trying to understand it. Like, because we have brought straight folks into Pride. We have brought different, we have done that. We have brought our straight allies into Pride.
Yeah.
And so, they don't understand all this, stuff in this fetish gear and all these things. And not saying that straight people can't be pubs or they don't do it on their own personal lives.
Because they do.
But you have to understand that that's taboo to some people. And so when you're bringing this to Pride, it's like, oh, I'm trying to understand why are these people doing that stuff, and they be so confused with it. And I'm not saying you have to be the explainer and, but you have to understand the pushback that people are going to bring, especially when they bring their children to Pride.
Yeah.
And you're you're acting like a dog on the ground, and the children are petting you
with a real leash. With a
real leash.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wish people would stop for a second and look and think back, like, okay, maybe I they were supposed to get me. They were supposed to get me there because I put myself in a really bad predicament, and it looks different. It looks weird.
Yeah. I hate respectability politics. I go back to me saying earlier that I did a lot of being me out of rebellion. So I never liked respectability politics before I even knew how to label it. But there is a time and a place for things.
Yeah.
And I think that Pride is not really necessary. Like the goal of Pride, for me, the goal of Pride is to say, hey, here we are. We're represented. These are the ways that we are represented. In some ways, we are no different than the rest of you. In some ways, we are. And here's how, and all of that can be celebrated. You know what I'm saying? But I look at Pride now like I think that Comic-Con. I look at it like Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Comic-Con used to be just the hardcore nerds and the comic people, and that's just what it is. And then all of a sudden, people started to trickle in that were just curious, who were interested in it. And now they've taken over. Now we got the Marvel panel at Comic-Con. Now we got Jamie Lee Curtis dressed up like Storm or whoever the fuck, walking around. Now we got T-Pain dressed up like Leroy from Tekken. At Comic-Con, and a lot of the quote unquote normies, kind of show up. And that's kind of what's happening, what's happened over the years to me at Pride. And that means that things that are unique to our private lives need to stay private.
Yeah. Boom.
And I wish that we understood that a little bit more. Gay people have always been persecuted for most of our history. I understand why you were trying to throw it in folks' faces. I do. When straight people are like, they shove it down our throats, I always respond with, well, we shove it down your throats because you make us have to.
Okay.
You make us have to.
Okay.
And you don't really understand that sometimes.
I had to tell
you don't accept us for who we are.
I had to tell one of my friends that about a weekend ago because he was trying that shit with me, and I was like, "Bitch, you know that I'm gay, right? You know I'm a gay man, and so if I talk about gay shit on my podcast, hey, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like being gay is a part of me, and so like every intersection of my life, the gayness affects me in some way, in some light. So like, yes, I'm going to talk about it often. I'm going to use the hashtags often.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that because that's a part of who I am, right? Like,
and I like being gay. So
and I like being gay. I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I like being gay. So it's just so weird when they're like, "Oh, no one really cares." Do they not care?
Do they not care?
Do they really not care? Because honestly, like all these motherfucking anti-LGBTQ laws, they're
somebody care. But anyway,
somebody care. The fact that you even said to me, no one cares. Why do you do this? Then you fucking care on why I do this.
Look at what's happening with trans people now who are really kind of on the cusp of their own civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Like somebody cares because y'all trying to stop them.
Exactly.
So, it is what it is. Anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of pride, how do you feel? I mean, we talked about it a little bit, when you speak about your son. How do you feel about this generation of LGBTQ folks compared to the previous ones? Like, how do you not necessarily comparing them in a way of like who's better, just like, the difference.
Their experiences, okay, listen. He gonna kill me for doing this. And this isn't my son because he's older now. He's there's generations of gay under him,
Yeah.
But my nephew's 16, and came out to me and my husband, maybe a couple of years ago. We knew, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's just a big flaming queen because he's not, but we just knew. Nobody else really seemed to know. But anyway, I listened to him because he calls me because I guess I'm the one who he can call to really just be honest. I let him cuss and whatever. So he just calls me and he just talks about what he's going through with these boys in high school. I think the biggest difference is that there's fewer DL dudes.
Yes, I was gonna say that to you. Oh, yes, I was gonna say that. There's a lot fewer.
There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot. Listen, I'm 48. Okay, so I'm looking at this from an older lens, but there's a whole lot of straight dudes who really don't give a fuck about flirting with a gay dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't necessarily mean it as much as they would mean it if they flirted with a woman that they don't really necessarily like, or or might like, or whatever. They can have sex with a man and then walk away from it and not be gay.
Yeah.
They just had that experience and they went on about their business, and that's really what it is. Of course, bless his heart, my nephew, I'm trying to get him to understand that straight dudes, when they flirt with you, they don't mean it. I need you to stop. don't you fall for these, because he's like a relationship dude. And I know you can relate to that, but I ain't gonna spill your tea. But no more than I just spill them couple of drops. I let America do what they're gonna do with that. But getting him to understand that dudes now are not like dudes then.
Yeah.
Not even 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
They don't care about how they are perceived. They just it's not really a thing. Now, don't get me wrong. That's white dudes. You don't really get it in black spaces as much. But we're also, as we are more, and I'm speaking directly about the black community, as we are more attuned to doing things like therapy, and self-healing, shadow work, stuff like that. Even though now we're trying to denounce anyway. We need to have a whole nother separate thing on them denouncing these fraternities and sororities and colleges and shit, because Black folks, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
How you gonna? And I think I said this. How you gonna denounce being a Delta because they have initiation rituals, but your church got new members class, and you
Don't go in, friend. Don't go in. Don't go in.
you can't even access the pastor until you go through new members class. That's a whole nother anyway.
Yeah.
Black folks are becoming a whole lot more open to certain things, certain orientations, all this and the other. There's still going to be what it is, you know what I'm saying? We have this machismo thing, but it's a whole lot more open now. I'm excited to see it be even more open. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I have to say about that.
I think for me, one of the things that I was really jealous about was one of my friends, one of my friend's sons is gay, and his son, he was like, "Hey, I got a question for you." He's like, "So my son wants to ask this guy out to prom," and I was like,
"Well, that was your first time finding out about it?"
I was like, what? Wait, what? Wait, they going to prom now together? What the fuck is going on? So for me, because I wanted to go to prom with a guy, when I was in the closet, but I ended up going with my friend. But definitely was shocked by that, because I'm like, they going to prom together now. You see it on movies and shit, and you think oh, okay, it's just a movie. But no, gay kids are going to prom with each other now, and it made me not necessarily jealous, but a little envious. I wish I could have went back and been like, hey, could we go to prom together, even if we just look like
you were jealous. You wanted that for you. You wanted to be jealous. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I was like, I wish I could have went back and asked my person hey, can we hang out and just go out to prom as friends, but you know what I mean, take pictures together and shit. Definitely wanted to go to prom with this dude. He was a senior at the time. Oh, he was a senior. This is my freshman year though. I went to prom when I was a freshman too.
Oh, you was bold. You wanted to take a senior to prom. His prom.
Yeah. Yeah.
You always did
I was a sophomore, but yeah, I went to prom when I was a sophomore.
Yeah. You've always liked them older, haven't you?
I have. I have since I was 12. I used to have, I think I tell the story all the time. I had a crush on my next door neighbor. I used to go cut his grass and shit, help him with the car. I was in love with him.
Did you wear your little cutoff shorts so you can go cut the grass?
I don't know if they're cutoff shorts, but I used to always wear a tank top and shit when I would help him with the car and shit. And he used to.
Yeah, I was joking, and you got real serious.
I was about to go into detail for him. And he used to think I was coming over to hang out with his kids. Fuck them kids. I want to look at you.
No, I'm trying to see you, sir.
Yeah.
Daddy.
I used to get pissed off when he would have me go hang out with the kids. No, motherfucker, I want to help you with the car.
Yeah. No,
that's why I came over here.
I love it. Does he know?
Nah.
Really?
It's funny because I think his kids kind of caught on to it after a while. Because again, I was always up under him. I'm telling you, I used to go walk the dog for him when they would go visit their mom in Arizona. And the dog be over there. I'm like, hey, you want me to walk the dog? And he'd be like, yeah, you can walk the dog. And I'll go walk this dog and shit, come back, sit on the porch with him and shit. Yeah.
Little did he know. You didn't want to walk the dog. You wanted to walk the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a hot little boy.
I believe that. I believe that. But oh God, we got to have a whole conversation about DL, man, and how much more risky they are.
They're so risky. And I learned my lesson. I think I did.
I don't think you have yet fully.
That's so problematic. Oh, okay. Okay. So let's stir the pot a little bit.
Okay.
So what is something that you would want to say to the community, the gays, that you know they don't want to hear?
We don't need allies. We need accomplices.
Oh, you would have speak. You would speak.
I think we give allies way too much credit.
Yeah, it's too much power too.
And way too much power. We allow them to come into our spaces and tell us what to do.
Okay.
We allow them to come into our spaces and like define terms for us and co-opt things and
all right.
You know, and stuff like that. And I'm also saying this as a Black man. We need to gatekeep a whole lot more.
Yes.
Than what
say
we do.
it.
Yeah.
Say that. I want to. This is not necessarily how I feel, but like I want to speak on that part of gatekeeping, because I feel that like as gay men, I really do hate the straight men allure. Now, as much as I talk about, you know, DL dudes and all these people, that shit bothers me. And maybe because I feel like they have the access that I don't, so it could be a part of that part too, where it's like jealous, you know. But like, it's so frustrating to me to see like gay men chase after straight dudes who are literally voting against your rights, that are literally just using you for like, I don't know. It's beyond me when I see it. When I'm on Twitter and I see the gays chasing after these dudes who are like straight up Trump supporters, straight up, like I feel like now I will say this. I have a friend who's a Trump supporter, or was a Trump supporter. He's not anymore, but he's definitely conservative. And we've had conversations about it, you know. So for me, I don't want to. It sounds like I'm calling because I know someone like, oh, you got a conservative friend, you have, you know, blah blah blah. But I just feel like it's different when this person is sitting up on here, literally like saying he's voting for Trump, and you're still subscribed to his OnlyFans and Just for Fans and sending him money and doing things on his wish list. Like, I'm not doing that for nobody that is like voting against my rights. Like, no,
I'm not doing that for nobody. Period. I'm not.
Body. Period. Though, but period. But it just beyond me when I see it. Like, and that's why sometimes when I think about when people say, "Oh, you know, being gay is just like a sex-driven culture," it's like y'all kind of give them that fucking ammo, because it's like, look what y'all doing. Like, I literally had somebody get mad at me because I called out this dude who, they call him a bear, straight bear, and that term irritates me. Straight bear. What? Okay. Like, what? Like, no, like, stop. Like, how do you let somebody come into our community and take over and have all these, like, how?
It's the equivalent of inviting them to the cookout.
Fred, I wish you was here. I need to tap you on the shoulder.
It's the equivalent of inviting them to the cookout. And I don't know if you remember this. I actually caused a couple of waves for whatever reason on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because I only have Facebook and TikTok. I don't have nothing else. Yeah. But I was like, I am no longer inviting white people to the cookout. Yeah. Ever. You're not invited to the cookout for any reason. I don't care what it is. We need to gatekeep more. We need to realize that we need more people who are willing. There are. This is exactly what I mean. There are white people who have shown up at Black Lives Matter protests, who have given their lives in defense of the cause that they believe in, the thing that they get. That's an accomplice. That's not an ally. Your coworker or your boss who doesn't understand why you got upset when they called you, I don't know, what's the microaggression that white people like to say to us, you know, at work, whatever microaggression it is, intimidating. That's the one I got.
Yeah.
Aggressive and intimidating.
I get that. I get aggressive and intimidating a lot.
Yeah. When they get mad that you say, okay, well, you shouldn't say that to Black people because it has a particular connotation. You understand it if I'm talking about how they used to tell Obama he was well spoken. You can understand it then, but you can't understand it when I tell you don't call me aggressive and intimidating, because it kind of pulls me back to that whole predator thing that we were talking about earlier. Like I'm trying to do something to you.
All right.
That's an ally.
All right.
They think that they're really doing something for us, but they really aren't. That white coworker or that straight woman coworker who comes up to you and tries to use gay slang.
Friends. Yes, queen, honey, cunt.
Boots down the house. Like what? I don't say that shit. Like what the fuck are you talking about? Like what do you mean? I don't huh? Hi, Evelyn. How you doing, Barbara? You ain't got to yes, honey, cunt to me. You don't have to do that. You don't have to yes, honey, cunt to me.
It's so annoying, friend.
It's so annoying.
I hate it.
Your bachelorette party somewhere else.
Okay. I hate it.
I don't know.
I would say for me is that I wish like gay men would stop projecting things onto others that they can control. And what I mean by that is like me and Manny, we were just talking about this on the show, and I re-listened to it. I edited it and I listened to it again. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of good. And one of the things that he was telling the story about when he was in therapy or a meeting with this person that he met, and she was trans, I don't want to butcher the story. I might have to go back and listen to it, but pretty much this person was in the like ballroom scene, all the stuff, and they was teaching Manny about it, and he just wasn't interested. And this person was like, "Oh, you're just trying to be straight. Like you're trying to be like you're wearing a mask. Like you're just trying to be masculine. Like you're trying to be, and you're actually not. Like you're gay, and it's okay." And it's like, and I'm like, well, why can't people just live in that binary of being femme and masculine? Why can't, like, we talk about androgynous, we talk about all these things, and it's like, but once someone is like more masculine, like why is it such a defense to you that this person acts this way? And I get that often. Like I remember one time I was walking in the club and I didn't even know how I was walking. I was drunk though, and my friend was like, "Stop acting like you straight. Stop acting like you masculine." And I was like, "Girl,
y'all got that too. Like, what do you?"
Like, girl, what? Like, okay, you big fairy princess. It's okay though. It's literally okay. Like, I'm not judging you for having the mannerisms that you have and that your ass twists when you shake. I'm not judging you for that. Somebody like it. So
somebody like it.
Somebody like it. Beat the walls off you. Like they probably will. But like that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be like that too. And I know like when I get around my friends code switching, I like to, be in community with my friends and talk. And like I know sometimes I get on TikTok and there's plenty of videos on TikTok that will show you like I'm just diverse in how I speak and how I talk and how I act, because it's TikTok and I like to have fun and I like to talk. But you meet me in real life, you see a kind of a little different version of who I am. And that's just what it is. And that doesn't mean that, I'm against people being feminine or people being flamboyant or men, I should say. This is about men. So like men being flamboyant or feminine, like that's not it. That's not the problem. But like, why are you projecting on the things that you can't control? Because I'm not going to judge you for being that. I'm not going to judge you at all, sis, if that's who you are and how you act. But you're telling somebody else who is this telling them that they're just being this is weird. And I just hate when like dudes do that. It's just it's off-putting.
Can I put my therapy hat on for a second?
Go ahead.
Okay. There's a lot underlying what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah.
And you know, I like I said earlier, you know, I know a little bit of your story, your coming out story, and your acceptance, you know, story, and you know the different tiers of acceptance, because you don't just accept yourself in one way; you accept yourself in a lot of different ways. And sometimes we're still working on that. You're still working on that. But there's something really kind of wanting to peek out from under the surface, and it's when people let you know that they haven't when people let you know that they have an issue with a way another gay person presents themselves, it seems to make you feel like they're not accepting themselves, and you don't like to be around people who haven't accepted themselves.
Damn, Fred, you gotta clock me.
Hard. Hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of have a problem with it because I'm just like, I'm here giving you I'm being vulnerable. And that's the thing, I'm a very vulnerable person. So, and I have to realize that everyone's not there yet. Everyone has not got there.
I'm like that too.
Yeah. And so I'm a very vulnerable person. And so for me, it's like when I'm putting myself in display for you, like, motherfucker, display something. Like, I mean, and again, you know, I'm vulnerable in phases. Like I have a surface, and I have real deep, and then I have hell. Like I give you I give you all of it.
Yeah, I know.
I give you the real shit. Like, you know, like, so, but it's just like, give me something, you know, I'm being vulnerable with you. And it's like, but like at this, again, like, I just don't understand why do you have to project them? And then it makes, I get a little defensive by it too, though. Like I get defensive because it makes me feel like, you know, it start peeking in at like, am I accepting who I am? Like I start questioning myself, like, am I being this way? Or am I like, why? Like, you know, like I start like picking at myself when I'm like, no, bro, no, stop. You're fine. Like this is this person's issue. It's not yours. Like you are healthy and fine with who you are, and you act this way in every setting. Be this person in every setting. Don't let this person make you feel like you aren't being who you are. You know.
It's easy when you are that kind of person. It's easy to let the thoughts that come in make you doubt who you are, and question yourself. And just it's a lot of work to not do that, because as gay men, we are constantly. People don't understand this. We are. I don't care how confident you think we come across.
Yeah,
we're constantly second guessing ourselves.
Always.
Is this the right amount that I need to be giving right now? And we have to actively set ourselves in a place where whatever it is that I give is what I give.
All right.
And that's not easy for everybody to do, because it's not easy for everybody to accept.
All right.
I have a thing now where my straight friends, I had this one friend. I hope she don't listen to this, and then I kind of hope she do. One friend who, when the Diddy stuff came up, she was constantly sending me memes about Diddy being gay. It wasn't about any of the other shit that he did. It was just about him and Farnsworth Bentley, him and Mace, him and this, that, and the other, him and new person. I have no idea who they are. And I was like, you know, I said something about that, and she took offense because, well, I don't know why you're getting so this, that, and the other. I don't know why you're getting so this and the other. I said, because you're missing the point. What you're saying is, and I know we talked about this in the first topic, but what you're actually saying is that there's something wrong with me being me.
Right.
And you don't really realize that that's what you're saying vicariously, because the thing that the first thing that you see as wrong is him being gay.
Right.
So is that the first thing you see when you see me? And is that wrong to you? So I don't know. Also, and I put this in the private chat. I want you to look at this later. There's something called the caste identity model, which is a developmental model, and there's a lot of different developmental models. We all know a few of them, but this one is specifically for homosexual development.
Okay.
I want you to read that. We could have a whole baby. We can have an entire conversation.
Okay.
You and I are do some long conversations anyway.
We do. We are.
Yeah.
A lot. There's a lot to catch up on.
Yeah. we got a whole lot to catch up on. I got some stuff I need to tell you too.
All
But
right.
yeah, I do want to really kind of talk about that cast identity model, because when I read it, and a lot, nowadays, this was in 79. Now there's, people take some issue with it like they do any other developmental model, but a lot of it is grounded in fact for me. I don't know if it applies to these new gays, because things, society is a little bit different now, so you might have to change some of these. It might be outdated, but it wasn't outdated for me.
All right.
So yeah, take a look at it.
Okay, I will. All right, y'all. So our first Pride episode. I have some other episode. I got an interview coming up. I have to schedule it out first. I don't want to say who exactly it is, but if you guys been watching Jubilee, you'll know who it is. So say that. But yeah. Yeah. I'm excited.
I want to take a guess. I want to guess so bad, but
yeah. We'll talk about it offline. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. I'm doing good though. I feel like I've been actually getting people to subscribe to me, so not too bad, not too shabby. I just need y'all to share more, please. Look at me asking for share more, please. But please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to all of my social medias again, which is The Real Doc Dre, Bubba's Banter Podcast, and Facebook, which is Bubba's Banter. Like and share, follow that one. I'm going to remake a TikTok. I don't know how long TikTok is actually going to be surviving, so that's why I've been kind of pushing back and forth with TikTok. I mean, I already post my podcast stuff on there. I just kind of want to have a little break from like my personal TikTok, because I kind of like want to do videos, but I'm overthinking it too, and I feel like I'm overworking myself. So we'll see. I might make another TikTok page just for Bubba's Banter. But yeah. Also, I'm working on my website officially. I started working on it yesterday again, so that should be up soon. And then I got stickers, and then stuff like that's coming out. So we'll see. So, Cecil, you want to shout anybody out? Anything?
Yeah, I want to shout me out, and my upcoming agency, Restorative Roots Counseling Center, where we will be doing ketamine assisted psychotherapy and changing lives all over. It's coming. Like, this is the next wave, and I'm ready. So I'm gonna shout me out. My husband, of course, who's out of town right now, safe. He's at a funeral, so hopefully he is handling himself up there. And my son, who I love dearly, and my dog, who I love dearly. His name is Rock, and he is wonderful. He bad, but he's a thug. He will always ask you what set you claim if you show up at the door. But yeah, that's it. I'm shouting me out.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Y'all see y'all when y'all see y'all. All right, peace.